In one of his many interviews, Haile Selassie made it known that Christianity was given to Ethiopia. In other words, it was brought there by pagan nations under the same Greek kingdom. Hence the term Orthodox, because Orthodox is literally a Greek term invented in the 15th century pertaining to Judaism. So, in other words, they put Judah above Israel, having you believe that God came from the tribe of Judah, when in fact God is Judah's dad, Israel himself. Yet still, they changed the whole story. They're also having you believe that Judas is not Judah, and Judas sold out Jesus. No, Judah, who is Judas, sold out his brother Moses, also known as Joseph, by trying to sell him into slavery to Egypt. Hence, in Ethiopia right now, some Egyptian Coptic church is acting like they're holy. So let's watch. When was it built? Emperor Fasilides built the Cathedral Church of St. Mary in the 17th century, and is known as the Old Cathedral, and it stands next to the new cathedral built by Haile Selassie. So as you can clearly see, the original church is believed to have built during the reign of Azana, when two Syrian monks supposedly brought Christianity to Ethiopia, when in fact in the 17th century it was Fasilides who built it. And what does it say? If an emperor was not crowned at Axum, or did not at least have his coronation ratified by a special service at St. Mary of Axum, he could not be referred to by the ruler of Atse or emperor of Ethiopia. In other words, you had to go to them, and they're the ones who call the emperors the defender of their faith. But Haile Selassie on many occasions is like, yo, I don't follow that. For example,
I would tell a person that's considering the claim of Christ for the first time that it is necessary to have faith in the Almighty, that it's necessary to have love, and that it's necessary to conduct oneself in a manner that we have been taught to do in the Bible. I would advise him to read and to study the Bible. I would also advise him to seek secular knowledge. For the more one knows, the more he realizes the need for a prime mover, the need for a creator who's good, and the need for salvation and also for peaceful life upon earth. I will also tell him to learn and to think for himself the ways he would serve the Lord. In this thought and in this undertaking of his, he will inevitably find the way of serving his fellow men. For his faith would then be manifested by its conduct. If Christians behave in this way, if we dedicate ourselves to this fundamental task, then we will have a peaceful world and will be assured of not transgressing against the will and the commandments of God.
so God gave the commandments. So did Jesus give commandments? No. So he's letting you know he followed the God that gave the commandments. So what does it say? Esdras, the priest and reader of the law of the Lord, have given order of the Jews and of the Levites. Remember, a Levite is not a Jew. A Josephite is not a Jew. A Benjamite is not a Jew. A Jew is basically someone from the tribe of Judah. Yet still, many people call themselves Jews and not Israelites. So they're following Judah instead of Israel. So what does it say? Let all things be performed after the law of God diligently unto the Most High God, that wrath come not upon the kingdom of the king and his sons. So, and thou, Esdras, according to the wisdom of God, ordain judges and justices, that they may judge in all of Syria. So you see, according to the Tewahedo church, Syrian monks came to Ethiopia to teach them about God's word. No, judges were sent into Syria so they could alone know the law of thy God. That those that know it is not thou that shalt teach, In other words, don't follow them, because they won't tell you that Jacob is God and he begat Judas. He also begat Joseph, his brother. Remember, Jacob is Israel and he has 12 sons. So Jacob, who is God, who is Jehovah, begat Joseph and Judas, but Joseph is the husband of Mary, of whom was born Jesus, who is called Christ. So as you can clearly see, Jesus, who they call Christ, is the grandson to God, Jehovah. So you are standing in the house of Jehovah in the courtyards of our God. Praise Jah, who is Jehovah. Make melody to his name, for Jah has chosen even Jacob for himself. So you see, Jacob is Jehovah, is God. And what did Jesus say? In reply, Jesus said to them, you are mistaken, because you neither the scriptures nor the power of God. So who is he calling God? And one of them, verse of the law, asked them, Teacher, what is the greatest commandment of the law? He said to him, you must love Jehovah your God with your whole heart and with your whole soul and with your whole mind. So who is Jehovah? His grandfather, Jacob. Because Jacob, who is Jehovah, begat Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom was born Jesus. Follow Jah and not man.